Yo, what's up? My name's Petrowski, and today I'm actually going to be doing some EV training, but in the way I'm EV training is I'm going to be buying cheap Pokemon off the GTL that can be turned into kind of mediocre competitive Pokemon. I use this as a money-making method a lot. You can get a lot of encounters this way, and encounter a ton of Pokemon, have a decent chance at a shiny Pokemon, as well as make some really cool passive money. And if you're going to be EV training, you might as well be EV training the max amount of Pokemon possible. So I try to EV train 4 Pokemon at least at a time. It's actually possible to EV train 5 Pokemon at a time if you can get a Pokemon, like if you can teach a Smeargle, Discharge, and Sweet Scent, you can actually, and train it in special attack and speed and everything, you can actually use that as a kind of one-man army for EV training, which would be super nice. I actually, in the future, might need to try to make a Smeargle that's like False Swipe, Spore, Discharge, Sweet Scent. That'd be a really cool set. That'd be the perfect EV training Pokemon, but that's also like your catch Pokemon if you find a shiny. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get into today's video, which is going to be talking about searching and finding cheap Pokemon off the GTL that can be used. Today, we're going to be focusing on physical attackers because I want to be training this Nidoran male. So I'm going to be looking for these IVs to 20 plus across and kind of just looking through and browsing until on the GTL until I see some physical attackers that I could buy for super cheap, EV train them up, and then sell them back for that price. So watch hard. Calm Nature, though, not worth. So any nature that's going to directly inhibit that Pokemon ability, the Pokemon's ability, is not going to be worth. Seeking is actually a really cool Pokemon. The issue is not many people are looking for like Seeking comps, but I could buy this for 2,500 Pokeyen, train it up, and I should be able to sell it for like 30 to 50, like 30k, 30 to 40k. Seeking's one of the cheaper ones. I usually sell mediocre comps for around 50k. That's kind of the baseline, but they can go anywhere between 30k up until like 120k if it's like a really good Pokemon, like a Dratini or something of the sort. But a lot of this is just going to be based around browsing the economy and just finding the right finds at the right time. This Magikarp is definitely not a bad buy, and I might come back to that, but I'm going to keep looking for the time being. Timid is bad. That'll directly hurt the Pokemon. Naive is not horrible. How's the, yeah. Exploud's not a super wanted Pokemon, though. So right now, the first thing that I might go back to is that Gentle Magikarp. The nature doesn't directly hurt it. It's not the best, but might be one of the better options so far. And also, Gyarados is an extremely common and like popular Pokemon, so that's very cool. Lairon is a very cool Pokemon. This might be a good buy as well. So I'll be buying these for really cheap, only around 4k. I'm going to go ahead and pick up, I can also turn this into a Glade. Glade is a really cool Pokemon, but it kind of needs an egg move. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Lairon, I think, for 4k. Hariyama, interesting. Naive Hariyama, that's a pretty interesting one. Might come back to that. How much was that Hariyama? Around 5k. Once I start reaching above the 5k mark, that's when I kind of, head back. That Dratini is close, but the issue, Calm Nature is just so bad. It's definitely not really usable. I'm going to keep looking for a little more, but I might go ahead and head back to that Magikarp soonish. I don't like to go up to this. If I go up to like the 10k kind of price zone, it has to be like a really good Pokemon like Dratini or something of the sort, like a rare spawn Pokemon that people like really care about. Smeargle is interesting, but the relaxed nature is not great. All right, I'm going to start heading back. Dragonair, Bashful, 10k. Don't really want to dump that much of an investment into it, even though it's not that much at the end of the day. The point of this is to really like cut, it's very budget, and the point of this is to modest nature, unfortunate. Point of this is to be very like penny pinching and kind of make money where you can. So I'm going to head back to this Magikarp, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to pick that up for 3k. Very cheap. And I might pick up the Seeking. I've trained a couple of Seekings. They just don't sell very well is the issue. I could always go for this Whismur or that Snubble were not bad as well. But I'm going to look a little more, and I'll get back to you guys. Actually, no, Hariyama is by far the pick. Yeah, this Hariyama is a very good pickup. Hariyama is actually a pretty cool competitive Pokemon. So those are the 3 cheap budget Pokemon I'm going to be training today. Let me go ahead and show you guys them really quickly. Serious, not great natures on any of them. The Hariyama has a decent nature. Naive nature making him a little faster. Physical Pokemon. Whether knowing a Pokemon is physical or not can be pretty difficult. And it's a hard thing to explain at a base state. And my best advice for that would just be to check that Pokemon's base stat, like I just did with that Hariyama. So you want to look for a Pokemon that you want to look for stats that a Pokemon needs. You can also check Black White Smoke, and that's a great way to check how a Pokemon operates. This Lairon's actually slightly already EV trained, which is really nice. A little handy for me. Not super impactful, but pretty cool. Today I'm going to be training them and all of them in 252 attack and 252 speed. That's the reason I bought these specific Pokemon. So Aggron and Hariyama are generally kind of slower Pokemon with 50 base stat speed, but I actually believe that the best way, the way that most people train Aggron successfully in NU competitive, I actually checked the statistics earlier, and I was kind of surprised by that. They actually do go 252 speed and just make him a very aggressive threat because of his high damage. And head smash is an insane move, but I don't know if he can get it. It might be an egg move only, but I'm not quite sure. I wonder if I can find. There's Aggron. Yes, most people go Adamant, Life Orb, which is very, very aggressive. So they just kind of go Adamant, Life Orb, and some people go Jolly and Draw for speed. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and start EV training these Pokemon, and I'll see you guys, I guess, when I'm just done EV training them, and I'll show you what the price I list them for is at. Alright, yo, I actually just finished EV training them all so I can take the XP share off of the 4 Pokemon and then go ahead and the next step would be to level them, but I'm actually not going to be doing that this video, but I'm going to go ahead and price check them and see what I would sell them for and kind of show you guys the profits from this. Alright, let's go ahead and start with Gyarados. So this Gyarados is Gentle Nature, which helps it in Special Defense, which actually can be kind of important for Gyarados to survive Thunderbolts, but it's never really going to survive a Thunderbolt, especially with these stats and this EV training, so it's not really important, but I guess it's something to consider. And then looking at 20 plus Gyarados and the IVs that it has, plus level 50, meaning it's probably been EV trained and everything. Let's look at the first Gyarados. The first Gyarados is 252, attack and speed, EV trained, has Dragon Dance, has Earthquake, which is actually important, Waterfall. The only issue is that it's mild, which means it's getting buffed in a stat that it doesn't need and won't use, and then is also getting hurt in defense. So it's actually getting double hurt as opposed to My Nature Gentle, getting kind of, it's kind of helped but hurt. This next Gyarados is actually gentle for 42k and has a bit better IVs. So I think, but has a much better attack, which is actually pretty important. I think what's going to happen is I'm probably going to end up listing this Gyarados for 35k, a little bit under this price. This has also only been listed for an hour. I think listing my Gyarados for 40k, 35 to 40k is pretty fair. And once again, I only bought that Magikarp for around 5k, I believe. I definitely don't EV train efficiently, and it would be really interesting to see how long it took me to EV train and how long. If you were efficient about this, it'd be really interesting to see how fast. I don't know the profit per hour. I think that's a really interesting step that I would love to do in another video. I've also done a better, more in-depth video on this in the past, really explaining the method in full. But this video was kind of more like a casual playthrough and seeing me on a daily basis run through the method. So I'm gonna put up the Gyarados there. I actually didn't mean to sell because I forgot to level it up, but that's an oopsie, but that's totally okay. If it sells, it sells. That's honestly totally fine. Let me go ahead and check the Aggron next. Alright, now searching very similar parameters for the Aggron, 20 plus across in the stats that it has alongside level 50 to make sure it's probably a comp. So this one is kind of a comp, but not really. The EVs got messed up for 40k. Has a neutral nature, which this one also has a neutral nature, and has kind of worse IVs on mine, and those really, really important stats. The most important stats on Aggron are going to be its defense, attack, and HP, which thankfully mine are literally all 27 plus, which is really, really solid actually. Moving on to this one, Naive Nature is honestly pretty usable, pretty interesting. Let's see how it's EV trained. The issue is that it's EV trained to try to cover its Naive weakness, which is not what you would do. That's actually really bad. This is like a pretty bad Aggron. Also a Surf. This is a weird Aggron. Let's go ahead and check this one. Rash Nature, pretty bad. This Aggron might actually be able to go for 80k. Let's check this one. Timid, though, is really bad. A lot of these Aggrons are not good. I don't know how fair price check this is. This is like the best one so far. This Impish one, but the issue is the EVs are all over the place. Aggron's going to be an interesting one. I really just don't think there are any good options for a budget Aggron in the GTL, which is a huge issue. This one is supposed to be moveset as well. I think I'm going to try to list this Aggron for 80k. I think that's like super fair. I'm not going to list it yet. I'm going to go and level it to level 50, although it's really close. Level to 50 and listing for 80k should be pretty fair since there's not really any other good options, and a lot of these are overpriced, or like this Timid one, super overpriced for it being timid. It's just too bad. It's a horrible nature for it. And then, yeah, I'm going to list it for 80k. 80k is pretty fair. That this is a little bit more, this pricing's a bit based more on experience and understanding the, mediocre or budget comp economy. So yeah, 80k sounds pretty fair there. All right, and if you search Hariyama with these similar parameters, there's actually going to be very, very few options. So what I'm going to end up doing is just dropping the level requirement and see what happens. This one's modest. So these are un-EV trained, so I can kind of take information from these and then add the EV training kind of requirement. This is a really good example, though. So this one's 65k. This is a great one, actually. Hariyama is also used a lot for breeding Belgium onto Pokemon, but yeah, this is a really great one. This one's probably the best comparison that I'm going to be able to find. Mine's Naive, though, which is actually better than this one being Quirky. Mine has a little higher attack. Obviously, this one has 31 HP, which is really nice. Has a special attack stat, but that literally does not matter at all. This is a 65k Hariyama. I feel pretty comfortable listing my Hariyama for around probably 60k. Yeah, if someone wants to pick up a cheap budget Hariyama comp, 60k is probably super fair. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled up my trusty calculator. Going to add up the numbers. So the original Gyarados we're going to sell for 35k plus 80k for the Aggron plus 65k for the Hariyama, putting us at 180k total revenue. Now, obviously, you have to subtract from the costs, which is really only the Pokemon. We spent around 5k each per Pokemon, so we'll subtract 15k. Of course, I misclicked those, so we'll do 180k. Minus 15k for the cost of the Pokemon. I guess there are some listing fees as well. Let's go ahead and subtract like 5k for listing fees. It's gonna be around that. So probably around 160k total profit made from this. And I also was not including a Pokemon that I was breeding or training up for another purpose. So if you do 4 Pokemon at once, I don't know how long it would take theoretically at like a really good efficiency. I could see people fully EV training 4 Pokemon within an hour. Pretty close, pretty nicely. I think that's definitely possible. So you could easily probably make, let's say you got another Pokemon, you add like an extra 60k, let's add 50k for another mediocre mon, and that's subtracting the cost. So it'd be around 200k per hour. That's my general guesstimate for this method. I think EV training and leveling up and making mediocre competitive mons is a really, really cool method. It's really fun for me. It's also a great money-making method that is going to get you a ton of encounters per hour if you want to like try your chance at a shiny. It's not really going to, it might not be a shiny you really care about since it's like kind of EV training shinies or leveling spot shinies, but if there are some of those that you really like, you can use this method to make money and hunt for those shinies you care about. So I think it's really cool. I really hope you guys liked this video. If you did like this video and it was helpful to you, go ahead and click that like button, subscribe for more Pokemon content, more money making guides, more PvP content, etc., etc. And thank you so much for watching. Check out all the links in the description below, all the playlists for more Pokemon content if you want to see more. Consider joining the Discord linked below to learn about this game at a rapid pace. And also consider becoming a YouTube member for $5 a month to me. If you really want to go above and beyond and support me, I would really, really appreciate it. But that's it for this video. Have a great day, and best of luck making your mediocre competitive Pokemon.